for having me.
And thanks for having me, man. Got a few questions for you. Is it a different feel like when you perform on stage versus when you like are creating a studio creative?
It is. So in the studio, it's like where I can take my risks. You know, I can kind of like be weird. I can be a little bit slower or even go faster. And so this is like my safe space. And not to say that on stage I don't, but on stage I really want to give people an experience, and that's more so for us. In the studio, it's for me.
Gotcha.
So that's really the difference, and then it affects, you know, my approach, the outcome, all that stuff. But I appreciate both.
What they are. Do you have a connection with the people you pay?
I do. So, for example, I don't know if you guys can see it, but behind me is the Salvador Dali. Across from me, someone is like an Einstein. I would say, you know, 99.9% of the people I paint, I have a connection with. And I say that because what I do is I see it as a platform, and I see it as an opportunity to like share not only my message but what these people have had an impact on this world, and then to hopefully inspire others to do that. You know, when you think about you know, these icons of our era and before, you know, these are regular people per se that pursued a passion to the extreme of like you know, gaining influence and just, I don't know, just not wasting their opportunity. And I think that we can all do that. So to think that, you know, no one will ever be the next Einstein, of course not, but you can be the next great you and make that impact in the world. So that's what I relate to. I relate to the fact that they all like use their passions, use their platforms, and affect the world in that way.
How does music influence you, like influence your art? Because I see you perform with music and it's like pretty amazing.
Well, I move when I create. And so music affects like the tempo, and it affects like the mood and the energy. So I would say the music affects everything. It affects like, you know, how we get the crowd into it, for them to give energy, and then that goes back to the canvas. And it's hard to explain because it all happens so like, try to keep it more natural. I never like to like, okay, this part, we're gonna go to the audience, the music, but the music is everything, and I probably spend more time listening to music before a show of what I'm gonna use, more than actually paint.
Wow.
Because what's going to set the mood and what's going to help get ultimately a message across.
Okay, yeah, I like that. That's pretty dope. I like the approach you take, like the different approach you take to like just painting and when people putting on like a show instead of just like you painting, like, okay, here's my art.
Yeah, and I think I'll kind of, you know, expand on that.
Yeah.
I tell artists all the time, like, people don't need what we do. They don't need it. We need it as an outlet. But they don't need to like support us. Give them something that they want to support, and give them a reason. Don't expect people to just kind of flock to you, because if you are a great artist, that's amazing. But there's also, I think, a threshold to that. At some point, you have to kind of break beyond that and give people something to believe in. And so, kind of go for what you're saying is, I don't want to just stand there and say, look at my art. I want to say, let's create this together. And that's like, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to, you know, create with people and give them something to believe in.
Who are like your artistic like inspiration? Like, who inspired you to be like this amazing artist that you are today?
No, it's a mixture of a lot of amazing artists. I would say the main ones, based on the major style that I do. Early on, definitely Ernie Barnes, who influenced another artist, Justin Bua, who's an incredible like urban jazz figurist, you know, drawing or painter, and Ernie Barnes kind of like started the style, and Justin Bua carried it on to his own thing, and I was kind of like, you know, influenced by jazz and hip hop a lot. So those are people I looked to say, oh, they had similar experiences that I did, and then, you know, kind of influenced my style early on. As I kind of got more into art, Denny Dent was another one. He started this style of performance painting. I consider him like the father of it, as in not just live painting, but making it like a concert experience, really engaging the audience. So Denny Dent, and then I would say Leroy Neiman is another one. I mean, the one behind us is a great example. If you look at some of my other work, he's more like, it's almost like he puts all these colors together and somehow it makes an image. And on my computer, my wallpaper is this image that he painted of these elephants. If you just look up like Leroy Neiman elephants, there's no definition, shadow, or highlight. It's just colors, but it's so defined of what it is. So those three are like my major inspirations. Ernie Barnes, actually four. Ernie Barnes, Justin Gua, I would say Denny Dent,
Okay.
and then Igor Neiman. So like I feel like my style's a mixture of all those.
What led you into like getting involved with charity and giving back so strong? So,
Yeah.
so like on Instagram, you would see like posted a video of you saying like $2 million donated.
Yes. When I was 25 years old, I had already been doing this. I mean, it was 5 years into what I was doing, and my agent just mentioned, hey, you helped raise a certain amount of money so far. It's like maybe you should like think about setting a goal. I remember this. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
At the time, it was maybe like so far we had helped raise about 150,000 at 25. So I was going through a lot of different changes in my life, like spiritually and with my family and a lot of other things. And I just made a decision that I wanted to do this for something bigger. So I set a goal when I was 25 to raise the $1 million by the time I was 30. And I did that because it's hard being an artist. It is hard being an artist. Like even now, it's a hustle.
Yeah.
Even when you create momentum, there's still a lot that keeps it going. And because there's a lot of struggles that come along with it, it gave me a bigger purpose to push through. It wasn't about me filling my bank account.
Yeah.
It was about how can we help people as we go?
Yeah.
As we're on our journey, how do we help others? And that motivated me to get through like probably most of the hardest times in my life.
Wow.
That had nothing to do with art, but the fact that I was like, I can't give this up. We've already helped so many people. We've got to help more. And it inspired me until to this day.
That is amazing. Okay, the last question. Why the quote, create, destroy, repeat? I seen that on, I believe, your apparel
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. So it's more so like a mindset of an artist. So the name of my studio is called War on Walls. And the mindset of an artist is like we like to turn blank to beauty. We see a blank canvas. Or when I was young doing graffiti, I saw a blank wall. And like my war was on that blank wall. I was like, yeah, I want to bring color to this.
Yeah.
And so the create, destroy, repeat is another sort of mindset. Not only of an artist where we create, we also push beyond our boundaries as well. Because part of the destroy is not actually physically destroying something, but breaking beyond your own personal boundaries, and then you just continue that to the next step. Like that's like that level up. When you want to level up, you start on your journey, you push past your personal boundaries and your mental boundaries, and then you repeat that process, and that never stops. So if you start that young and just get used to that, it becomes instinctive. And so create, destroy, repeat is an artist mindset, but it's also, I think, just it should be a life mindset.
I believe the same thing, man. That's all we have today.
Yeah.
Thank you for sitting down to chat with me, man.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Really appreciate it. Thank you for the invite, man. So
Yeah.
Thank you. Stay tuned, guys.
Stay tuned. Watch this guy.
Go watch this guy.